Thank you all so much for attending today's webinar. My name is Mona Thaker. I'm a Senior Manager of Product Marketing at BlackBerry. And I'm excited to share what our platforms do and what our cybersecurity solutions can help you with. On the agenda today, I want to start off with some of the cybersecurity concerns that are top of mind for most of us. Then I want to talk about the BlackBerry approach to solving for those concerns, and then tie in the solutions to those concerns as well. So let's get started. In the cybersecurity world right now, we have a lot of different concerns, right? So starting off with the endpoint security solutions itself, we have a lot of the market, feedback that we're getting, the customer feedback is a lot of the vendors out there, they have a reactive sort of endpoint protection solution. They rely heavily on the detection and response and then update the signatures, etc., to give you that protection for known malware only. That's the reactive nature. And then you have a rise in the number of different types of endpoints that you have to protect as well. The other key aspect of this risk concern is the attack surface is growing exponentially. You have your digital transformation projects happening. The adoption of SaaS applications is increasing as well. And on the other hand, you have, use cases like work from home, especially during this pandemic, right? So you have the growing of the attack surface, and then you're also worried about securing those remote workers. How do you enable access for those remote workers in a very secure manner that does not contribute to the growing attack surface? And then you also have an increase in the, stolen credentials, misused credentials, the insider threats is on the rise. So the user identity and trust issues kind of amplify the risk concerns as well. And there's a big shift towards moving towards that zero trust architecture and fundamentals as well. So when you combine all of these solution-related concerns, you're also worried about security teams being understaffed. There's a huge talent shortage in the cybersecurity world, and it's a real thing when you have, a reactive type of solution, the attack surface growing, there's increased amount of alerts flooding in, but the teams don't really have the time to adequately, filter out and figure out what's the most critical and how do you allocate time only for the critical events happening in your environments only. Alongside with everything else, you're also worried continuously, that, hey, is there an active attack happening in the environment? If it is, what am I doing? How am I responding to it? How is it affecting the public image, and what type of fines or ransom do I have to worry about, right? So these are the top of mind concerns. And then what I want to do next is I want to talk about how our solution, our products and services, they map to help solve these problems for you. So let's take a look at a three-layered approach that we have. In the middle right here is our Cylance AI-driven solution layer. These are all our products. In the bottom, the service layer is the strategic services that we provide. And in the top is the managed service options that we have for you. So to solve for the endpoint, the reactive nature of the endpoint protection and supporting your desktops, laptops, servers, mobile devices, we have our product, BlackBerry Protect. That's the antivirus solution. That's one of the most mature AI-based product that you can potentially find on the market right now. We're on the 7th generation AI model. We have analyzed over 1 trillion different files to classify good and bad files, and we can figure out, we can provide that 0-day prevention to you with 99% efficacy as well. So this is almost like a no-brainer to add to your portfolio, BlackBerry Protect. THREATZERO service, it's our onboarding and upkeep maintenance type of service package that would help you optimize, tune the product, and make the best out of your investments with BlackBerry. In terms of solving for the attack surface and secure remote access, we have two products. BlackBerry Optics, that's the EDR product. It is cloud native, cloud enabled, but it does the detection and response on device in milliseconds. So what that helps you achieve is mitigating attacks in milliseconds on device, and then it helps you reduce that attack surface because it doesn't let the attack penetrate, move around in your networks, etc., laterally, and contain that everything within that endpoint itself. ZTNA, BlackBerry Gateway is our zero trust network access solution. It is fully integrated with BlackBerry Protect. It provides you the segmented network access to a particular app just in time with intelligent network risk assessment running in the cloud as well. And we'll talk about all these products in depth in just a minute. But in a snapshot, these are the capabilities that we bring to the table. Moving to that user identity and trust, again, we have two products to help alleviate that. BlackBerry Persona is our user and entity behavior analytics. It's looking at the passive biometric patterns, network access patterns on device, and continuously authenticating a user following the zero trust fundamentals for the endpoints. And then we have the BlackBerry Gateway. It's running that intelligent network risk assessment in the cloud. So you have the user perspective with Persona, you have the network perspective from Gateway, you have tremendous endpoint security coming in from BlackBerry Protect and Optics. Holistically, you get the endpoint, user, and network perspective to keep you safe in the environments. And should you need any additional managed services, our BlackBerry Guard is a managed detection and response service built upon our product line. And then you get 24/7 eyes on the glass with that. There is integrated threat intelligence overlay, threat hunting capabilities, etc. And you get best of the product as well as the expertise with that as well. Our teams are all in-house. Our security expertise is, on average, 15 years of experience, super talented folks who know, who are experts in the cybersecurity world. And also we have strategic services for you. So should you need any compromise assessment type of service, red team services, or incident response type of services, we're here to help you through that as well. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to talk about our approach and why we think it's differentiated and something that you should really consider going forward to have in your back pocket. So in this chart here, on the x-axis, you have the cost. And the way we kind of classify this is, okay, how are your processes? Are they automated? Are they semi-automated? Are they manual in terms of, prevention, detection, and response? So the risk is the lowest on the y-axis if you have that prevention first approach. If you can prevent threats in an automated way, that's the best way to reduce risk and optimize for your ROI and your cost, your time, your resources, etc. The farther up you go, if you have automated detection and response, your risk profile goes higher. If you have semi-automated and manual processes, your cost and resources, they go higher as well. Right. So what we see in the market, our competitors, they heavily rely on the detect and respond. So their prevention technology are based on signature updates, cloud reliance, etc., both for legacy AV and to a large extent the next gen AV vendors as well. What you get over there is if there's a 0-day attack happening, like recently you might have seen with DARKSIDE, CONTI, ransomware, etc., what they have is a detection, and then it takes hours or days for them to update those signatures and get you protected. versus when you have a solution like BlackBerry, you have protection against those zero-day malware attacks in milliseconds. So right from the very first customer that would see DARKSIDE, you are automatically protected on the endpoint itself. So that is our prevention first approach. It optimizes for risk, it optimizes for cost, and it enables the fastest path to security at a lower cost. So that is the overall approach we take at BlackBerry in any cybersecurity solution or controls that we put in place, and then we scale it out with detection and respond in semi-automated and on very few incidents, only very critical incidents. They need eyes on the glass, requires security experts to take a look and do something with that. So that's our differentiation. And next I want to drill down into those concerns we talked about and then dig deeper into our product and solutions. So let's take a look at the very first concern we talked about. How do you move away from reactive endpoint security? Our answer to that is BlackBerry Protect. It's an AI-based endpoint security solution. As I mentioned before, we're on the 7th generation of that AI model. It inspects applications and files before they execute, and we do that with 99% efficacy. And all of this is done on the edge, on the endpoint itself. We have taken that AI model, shrank it, and then put it on the endpoints itself, so you don't need any network connections, you don't need cloud connections, there's no signatures you need to update, there's no heuristics or sandboxes that are required. It's all done automatically, silently running in the background with a very small CPU footprint. It only utilizes less than 1% of the CPU power. So what that means is you get robust zero-day prevention. It is super effective. It is super fast because it's done all on the endpoint, and it's super performant, very low CPU footprint. Let's talk about some of the recent attacks. And I have certain resources attached as CTA for you guys to take a look at. It's a deep technical analysis for how we prevented against DARKSIDE, CONTI, REVIL attacks. Recently, we did not need any signature updates, no scans required, no updates or cloud connection required to protect that. This was done in milliseconds. Before you could even blink your eyes, you were protected against these ransomware attacks. Building up on that predictive advantage that we gain from our AI models, I want to show you this chart. And what this indicates is the maturity of our AI. It tells you average number of months prior to any of these malware campaigns being known to the public eye. So let's take an example of CONTI. Our model could have predicted and prevented against CONTI ransomware 67 months prior to it being launched. That is very, very powerful. It tells you that even an older model of our AI, not just the current one, but an older model that is 67 months old, could have seen CONTI and protected you against that. Similarly, for WannaCry, a 20-month-old model could have prevented WannaCry before it hit the world. So that is the power you want to have in your back pocket. You want to make sure you have the best possible prevention on your endpoints running, protecting you against all of these zero-day malware and ransomware attacks. When you contrast that with other legacy type of AV vendors, they would need, at the minimum, hours or days to update their signatures and then give you the protection that you need against those known pieces of malware. And it's also very easy to modify the malware campaign and we have demos to demonstrate that to you as well, that you can update the signature by a little bit, and then a lot of the legacy AV vendors will not be able to catch it. So AI-driven model, best prevention in your back pocket is the best way forward. On top of the AI advantage we also have script management, memory exploit prevention, application control, device policy enforcement, all of these capabilities as part of BlackBerry Protect. It's packaged within it. We don't charge anything extra like some of our competitors would do. So it's a great offer for you to get that protection with BlackBerry Protect. We have taken that Cylance AI and tweaked it to do mobile threat defense as well. We have protection against mobile malware threats, auto remediation, options available for mobile defense, also blocking of social engineering attacks like message-based attacks or smishing-based attacks as well. So you get robust mobile security within BlackBerry Protect as well. I want to briefly touch upon the THREATZERO services, as we mentioned before, to make the best out of our products. This is an onboarding and a subscription offer that is highly recommended that would help you tune the products, set you up with the automated response capabilities with our EDR solution, as well as give you hands-on training so you can make the best of the products and your investments with BlackBerry. Let's move to the second big concern, reducing the attack surface. And I want to focus right here on our EDR product and showcase the capabilities of detection and mitigating attack with our automated response capabilities on device. Our EDR solution is cloud native, and I say cloud enabled here. It's not cloud dependent for the reason that you get the continuous monitoring, you get the visibility, you get the data correlation capabilities because we store our events in the cloud. You get the powerful investigation, threat hunting capabilities with it, online or offline device protection as well. But what happens is the detection and automated response still sits on device with our edge AI capabilities. So what that means is you can mitigate those attacks in milliseconds. You are limiting the attack surface, and you have robust set of automated response capabilities like you can isolate endpoints automatically, you can quarantine files, you can kill processes, kill process trees. You have the ability to customize the response and cater it to each of those, the rule settings that you have available with Optics. So that is powerful. Other vendors, they rely on the cloud. It takes them a while. They have semi-automated or manual process, remote shell logging to do any of those activities. With Optics, all of this is automated for you. It saves analyst times. It reduces the attack surface automatically for you. With our deep insight packages, you get unconstrained threat hunting experience with a very intuitive query language, as well as we have flexible data retention packages for you for threat hunting, starting with 30 days to 365 days. We include the 30-day retention package out of box, which is, again, really crucial. Those bills start adding up for data retention if you're looking at other vendors. We do 30-day retention out of box. So building on the Optics capabilities, you get the root cause analysis, you get the threat hunting, you get the threat detection and response, and playbook capabilities that collects the security telemetry relevant to an event that has been detected for analyst review, saving your analyst time. What I want to do next is I want to move to the secure remote workers conversation and our ZTNA solution and how that goes about reducing the attack surface for you. BlackBerry Gateway is our zero trust network access solution. It is AI powered, and it's a privacy friendly ZTNA solution. It's cloud native, it's very high performance and easily scalable, and very easy to deploy as well. What it does, and on-prem applications without the need of a VPN. We have over 20 different SaaS applications supported, like your common communication apps like Teams, Zoom, WebEx. You have Office 365, Salesforce, Workforce, Workday, etc. And what's really cool about the way we're approaching this is we have a tight integration with our endpoint security product, BlackBerry Protect. What it does is it looks at the device posture and makes sure that only the healthy devices that are running robust endpoint security are the only ones that are allowed to request access using BlackBerry Gateway. This solution is optimized for remote workers. We have a work mode capability. You can enable that if you're bringing your own device to work between 9 to 5. You enable that mode. When you're trying to access your corporate resources, the network resources, the SaaS applications for work, then you enable that. There's scrutiny on that traffic. It gets routed through BlackBerry Gateway. Other than that, you disable that mode. There's no eyes on your network activities. We also have split tunnel capabilities with Gateway. What that does is you can configure which application requests should flow through BlackBerry Gateway Cloud versus what you want to configure to be direct access to the public internet or the SaaS application. So you have the flexibility into the way you configure this. And we do all of this with a lot of intelligence, right? So we have the Cloud AI intelligence network risk assessment happening in real time in the cloud that adapts the network access controls dynamically. So you can do intelligence stuff like grant access, you can deny access, you can ask for multiple factor authentication, or you can adapt the policies, etc. The other piece of the AI, we leverage that for doing the network threat detection. And we do that using the metadata. We don't need any packet decryption, so that makes it privacy friendly as well. Okay, let's take a little bit deeper look into how do we go about enabling BlackBerry Gateway? So we have a unified endpoint agent on Windows and macOS devices. You can enable secure network access from anywhere. If you're working from home, if you're working from a coffee shop, if you're traveling anywhere in the world, you are able to initiate the network resource access from your endpoints. It gets routed to the Gateway Cloud, where our intelligent network risk engine is running with our Cloud AI capabilities. It's assessing risk and adopting policies dynamically. And the request goes out to either public internet, your SaaS applications, or on-prem apps that you might have. And you might notice here the Gateway connector. That's the virtual appliance that we use to establish connection with your on-prem app. I want to dig a little bit deeper in the Cloud AI piece. What type of risk factors do we consider, right? So we look at the base profile. Is the user who he says he is, right? Is he behaving normally? Is the frequency of access normal? Is the time of access normal? The amount of download is happening, is that normal? Is the user accessing what he would normally use? Is that consistent with that base profile that was created initially? Is the user access pattern consistent with someone similar to him or her in the organization? These are the types of inputs the Cloud AI model will take at a user or a group level. It would adapt the policy based on that associated risk score, and then the action can be configured to either grant access, deny access, throw an alert for SecOps. You can adapt the policies or require multi-factor authentication on top of it. That's the intelligent part of BlackBerry Gateway. Some of the differentiators for our ZTNA solution Gateway I want to highlight here is we are built upon a very robust TCP/IP stack. We have extensive protocol support, including VoIP, which is a differentiator from some of the other ZTNA vendors. It's done in a cloud-native architecture is very easy to deploy. We have full tunnel and split tunnel capabilities, access modes enabled for you as well. And we have one-click configuration for apps, which is the SaaS app identification capability. What it does is it configures these, it establishes these connections with SaaS applications, and it ensures that those never run out. It's a UX feature that we've heard pain points with other vendors, and we've implemented that as part of the productivity improvement feature. The middle part, reducing the network access risk. This is the core benefit of BlackBerry Gateway. We've talked about the AI modulated risk score driven policies. You initiate that access request from healthy devices only, from the endpoints, and then you establish access to applications only and not the entire network. So you're reducing the attack surface that way and limiting the lateral movement as well. The other two key capabilities that we're incorporating here is the IP reputation technology, as well as the source IP pinning capabilities. IP reputation, it downright restricts access to known malicious sites. So you can configure that and then say, hey, so many websites, malicious sites are known. We just don't want to have, we don't want to enable access to any of those sites for our employees. Source IP pinning, it lets you configure your own IP addresses, so it limits the unauthorized users from gaining access to your corporate or network resources, because those IP addresses are not known or searchable by any malicious actors out there. And then the third key piece here, again, to reiterate that device posture-based security here, is the power of the platform approach. We have tight and natively integrated solution, BlackBerry Protect, which is robust security solution running on your endpoints, ensuring that you're protected against those known and unknown malware attacks. And it's a healthy device that's requesting access to your network resources. Powerful solution. We recently launched this. Highly encourage you to get a demo of this, get a POC running, and deploy that for securing your remote workforce. Let's talk about the user identity and trust issue and how do we help you address those. We have a powerful machine learning and predictive AI-based solution, BlackBerry Persona, that continuously authenticates your users on device. It uses the passive biometrics, the usage patterns. It's continuously looking for those anomalies from a user perspective, and it's assigning a real-time risk score to do intelligent things like, hey, should I ask for MFAs, should I grant access, deny access, adapt policies, etc. It's a really powerful tool that is not just static authorization or authentication. It's a continuous authentication, so it takes it a step further, verifying the user if he or she is. Powerful capabilities backed by our Cylance AI engine, looks at the time and usage anomalies, network usage, device keyboard and mouse, passive biometric capabilities, and then does intelligent things with that. Lastly, I want to touch upon the security talent shortage right here. So should you have all of these robust AI-driven, highly automated solution, but should you also need eye on the glass, we have our MDR solution. It is built upon our AI-powered products. You get 24/7, 365 monitoring support with that. You have threat hunting capabilities incorporated with it. You have the threat intelligence overlay with that. You get that automated response capabilities. And by the way, we add the onboarding package with our MDR solution. That's, again, a key differentiator. With other vendors, you'll have to pay extra for the onboarding. It is part of our Guard offering. And you have the notification process flexibilities we have. In portal alerts, you can manage, as well as the email alerts for management. And to reinforce the cybersecurity expertise that we have, right? We have over 15 years of, on average, cybersecurity experience, all in-house. So MDR is a no-brainer again. If you're looking to outsource your cybersecurity, I would highly encourage you to reach out to us and have a detailed conversation around this as well. To support our MDR, we have a number of other strategic services available for you as well. We offer incident response and forensic analysis. We have the red team, traditional services for pen testing, etc. We have strategic services like incident response, virtual CISO type of engagement with you as well. We do risk assessment, compromise assessment, etc. as well. Highly recommend these services as well. A lot of the times, customers come to us to leverage either compromise assessment or incident response capabilities. They're coming to us because they had experienced a breach using some of the legacy type of AV solutions. When they experience our products and services, they get hooked onto it so much. They appreciate the expertise so much. They end up moving to BlackBerry Guard, adopting BlackBerry Guard and staying with us. So highly, highly, highly recommend all of these services for you as well. Lastly, I want to mention some of the success stories from our customers. We have a large set of customers ranging from high endpoint counts to low endpoint counts, but all of them, they appreciate the simple and silent nature of our BlackBerry solutions. It's running, giving you peace of mind. It's reducing risk for you. It's giving you visibility so you can focus on your core business and not really have to rely on, defending, configuring your antivirus or updating and upkeeping with those cybersecurity solutions. To reinforce our approach again, this is something that we touched upon early on. We have that prevention first approach. What we do is we deploy that best possible protection, and then we apply automation and detection and rich set of automated capabilities on top of it, and then take it all the way with our managed services that helps keep you safe. It reduces risk for you. It optimizes for your total cost of ownership as well as your ROI. So I want to leave you with that thought. These are some of the additional resources for you to leverage. There are several blogs here attached that kind of walks you through how we protected against these recent ransomware attacks. There are certain collaterals for our newly launched ZTNA products. There's a demo for Optics also that would take you through the automated response capabilities, and then request a demo if you're interested, and I hope you are. So with that, I want to thank you so much for attending the webinar today, and I'll open up the floor for question and answers. So give me just a quick minute to glance through any of the questions that are populated already. One of the questions came in: to what extent does persona security infrastructure work with cloud access being temporarily and partially compromised? Continuous authentication. Do you support sustained remote access, even if any cloud support of authentication does not reliably work? So the persona engine works on device. It is continuously looking for those patterns, and the decisions are made on device as well. I hope that helps answer that question. The other question is: connecting to networks from public places is inherently unsafe, even with sophisticated technical protection. For example, your gateway services in place. Think of adversaries looking over your shoulders. Do you apply special safeguards that take into account that additional risk? So what it would do is it's also implementing that geolocation risk factors into it. That's upcoming. That would solve for some of your concerns over there as well. Is gateway configuration unintuitive? So it is a cloud native deployment. From what we've seen with the customer deployments we've done so far, it's very intuitive and easy to configure. So hopefully that should be a good experience for you. Let me take a few more questions over here before we close it out. Connecting to network, okay, I think we answered that question already. Okay, looking through quickly, is there the trade-off between security and convenience with respect to regular operations and authorized user interactions with systems? So the approach we take with this is very seamless. In our zero trust methodology, we want to balance out the zero trust with zero touch, meaning we don't want to hinder the productivity, and we've implemented the continuous authentication functionality in a way on the endpoints with Persona as well with Gateway in the cloud, is that it would alleviate those concerns that's asking you for those static type of authorization and authentication controls every so often. Let me read through that question a little more. How do you address the issues with AI-based prevention protection, which appears to respond to application user behavior patterns? I am not quite sure if I understand that question. We can get back to you offline on that. So please feel free to reach out to us. Okay, does Deep Insight have additional cost, or will that be included for existing customers? For existing customers, the 30-day retention package is automatically included. And so for any new customers, if you opt in to add 90 or 365-day Deep Insight package, that would cost you additional. That would incur additional cost over there. Okay, with that, thank you so much. That's the end of this webinar. For any other technical questions, detailed questions, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to assist you for any POC type of request, or if you want deep dive into any of our solutions or products, happy to assist you there as well. Thank you so much.